Now, when you see stories like this, you realise how much of a rip-off the southeast is. Mad. Hi, it's me again. And yeah, if you didn't know, I rent a little two-up, two-down cottage down here in the countryside of Essex. And I basically get bent over every month to pay for it. It's an absolute joke. I've recently bought a place, actually. I've had an offer accepted to buy my first ever place. I managed to scrape enough money together. God knows how I managed to do it. But I saw this headline and I read the story and I thought, God, Essex isn't good. Look at the story, look. Top 10 cheapest areas to rent in the UK revealed. Now, this might not be a surprise to many of you out there, but I'm born and bred in Essex, right? And this little place I'm in, it's about £1,000 a month. It's madness. Madness. But, if I go to Chelmsford, which is the county town of Essex, and apparently, commands ridiculous money, you can barely get a little pony one-bedroom flat for that. I mean, I've been looking at buying, right? And my sister, she used to live in Chelmsford, and she sold her place and moved out. And she had a small two-bed house in Chelmsford, and for the money that she got for that, she was able to get a four-bed detached in a different town in Essex. Won't tell you where. So I was looking at that because I can't get a lot of mortgage. Right? I don't earn enough money. I don't have a huge deposit. But I don't want to keep renting for the rest of my life. But the money I was looking at, about 160, 170 grand I really wanted to spend. In Chelmsford, that's a studio flat. It's madness, isn't it? So I found quite a nice little 1.5 bed flat in the same town that my sister lives in, which hopefully, if all goes well, 3 months, they reckon, I'll be in there. But let's have a look at these rentals anyway. Because as I said, I'm paying near on £1,000 a month for my little two-up, two-down, horrible cottage that I hate. I hate it with a passion. And it stings every month I have to pay the fucking rent. Let's have a look. Rents outside London were an average of £1,162 per calendar month between July and September last year. Yeah, it's not so bad if you're with someone, right? I mean, last few years I've been living with someone renting. You don't notice that it's that expensive because everything's split down the middle, isn't it? That's the way it works. But now I'm on my own. £1,162 a month on average outside London. That is so much money to try and find on your own, isn't it? I mean, my niece is 22. She wants to get her own place. Where's she gonna find that kind of money? She earns, I think it's 25 grand a year. So that's going to be more than half her take-home pay just on rent. By the time you chuck in council tax and your ridiculous bills, how can she possibly... It's not going to happen, is it? Not going to happen. So maybe she should move to a cheaper area. Let's have a look what's cheaper. The cheapest area to rent in the UK is Hartlepool. The average monthly rent is only £496 there. Carlisle District is the 10th most expensive area. I think they mean the 10th most cheapest area. Rent there is £541 a month on average. Now here are the top 10 cheapest areas to rent on average per month in the UK. Hartlepool, Burnley, Ayrshire, Dumfries and Galloway, County Durham, North Ayrshire, Allerdale District, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, one of the things I did think of doing was try and get enough money together and do a bit of homes under the hammer and buy cheap. But that's not going to happen in the southeast. So I could have got a loan off a family member for about 50 grand. God knows how I would have paid it back. But he was prepared to lend me the money, right? Because he's got a few quid. It's no problem to him. And I was looking at houses in Wales, down in the valleys. I found like a 3-bed end of terrace with a big front garden, big rear garden for 55 grand. I'm thinking, oh, I could go and live in Wales. I could go and live in Wales. But yeah, didn't in the end. So I'm basically mortgaging myself to the hilt to get this little place in Essex. But yeah, I mean, the north-south divide here. I mean, if you have a look at all of those, that list, none of them are in the south, are they? It's crazy the premium you pay to live down here in the south. It's crazy. Yeah, I know a lot of it is demand, and I know the salaries are higher down here in the southeast on average, but not for everybody. Not for everybody. And what can you do if you can't afford your rent down here? You can't just move to Hartlepool to halve your rent, can you? Because then you've got to find work, and everyone else is looking for work up there. You've already got a job down here. It's mad. It's mad. And the housing schemes don't help. I mean, the waiting list for social housing is an absolute joke down here. And I had a look at the shared ownership thing, right? And what a rip-off the shared ownership is. You pay like 25% more than where I grew up. Right, I thought, oh, they got shared ownership there. I'll have a little look. And a one-bed flat, not even that big, was 230 grand. And you can mortgage like 25% of it, but then you have to pay rent on the other 75% of it that you don't own, which is more than a mortgage. But then the fees that you have to pay each month, it's like 200 or 300 quid a month in fees. So now you've got to pay the mortgage, you've got to pay the rent, you've got to pay all the fees. And even if you bought 100% of it, it's still going to be leasehold forever, and you're still going to have to pay those fees to the housing association that owns the freehold to the property. Housing, yeah, it's on my mind a little bit at the minute. So I stumbled across this, and I thought I'd just get it all out of my system on here. But do you rent? I mean, so many people now. Renting's going to get more and more prevalent, isn't it? And the prices are going up because the stocks for rental places are dwindling. I know. Let me know what you think about it, and do you rent? And it's awful, isn't it? It's awful. I don't like it at all. I've always rented, and yeah, it's time I stopped that. I'm in a lucky position where I was able to borrow a few quid to get enough to get the deposit for the mortgage and that. So, but let me know what you think about it all down in the comments below. As always, thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, because that way, hopefully, I'll see you in another video again soon. And in 3 months' time, all the background will change because I won't have to do green screen. I can have a nice place with a bit of room. I'm going to make a video showing you how I make these videos, and I'll show you this pokey little cottage I'm living in there and the setup, because this tiny half a spare bedroom I'm in, yeah, it's not impressive. Not impressive at all. I'll show you one day. Anyway, ta-da.